running a little bit late. So I was early, that is the problem. 10:30, I was sitting around like, how much longer? I was running, or not running errands, but I was doing some odds and ends here because I was all ready to go. Then I didn't have sound. I had to restart my internet, and then I had my Bluetooth on, and then like, you know, whatever, things happen. So anyways, thank you to those that have stuck with me and came back. If you're watching the replay, you are wondering what the heck was going on. I was having technical difficulties, so now I can't talk either. So welcome. It is December 8th. If you're watching the replay, that's when this is happening live. It is a free shipping day with Stampin' Up. Gosh, everything I said before I realized I had no sound was like so smooth, and now do you think I can remember what I was talking to you about? So you heard my lips going, but no sound. So I'm going to backtrack and see if I can think about it. Today, we have got some giveaways. So if you look in the headline or the post, there is some winners. I had a post last week sharing a little glimpse of these cute projects, and I asked you to tell me what you thought I was up to. All of those answers were correct. I was working with new product, I was making samples, making swap cards, all the things. But what I was doing was making a simple, successful stamping card, which is a card that you can just change out the designer series, same measurements. Measurements are right up above too as well. If you're watching on YouTube, the replay, they're right down below. So that's what I was making. I'm going to make two different ones today for you using current catalog. And not the ones I'm going to create today, because I haven't even created the ones that I'm going to create today. I don't even have a sample. So that is what we're up to today. So if you are one of the people in the headline that won one of these cards for me to send to you, please message me your mailing address. Now, if I send to you regularly, you're a customer, you're my downline, I have your address. But if I have never mailed you anything, please send me your address so I can mail it to you. All right, I think we're going to get started. I hope this finds everybody doing quite well, getting ready for the holiday season. I know I have got 2 Christmas trees up, I've got my nativity up, and guess what? It is no thanks to me. 0. My daughter, she's 14, she did it all, and it is absolutely stunning. She did such a great job. 2 Christmas trees. We have a real Christmas tree for the first time, and then we have like this little skinny one upstairs that's super cool to look at. And the nativity's up. Gosh, it's just great around here. But now I think she might want me to do the Christmas shopping, so I've got to get on that. So anyways, I hope you guys are all doing great. We got some snow here in Minnesota. I should take a picture and share it with you. It is so pretty outside right now. So we did have some people that couldn't make it to our meeting last night here live. Now we taped it, of course, for all those that are not local or that couldn't make it. But definitely got more snow. It was like supposed to be a dusting, and I don't know if anyone knows how much we got, but it was quite a bit. My husband, like, you know, he's quite the guy. He didn't want to get the plow out because it was so light and fluffy. He decided that he would just use the leaf blower and blew the snow out and did a little bit of shoveling. So, you know, whatever, it worked. Okay, so this is what I've got going today. I'm kind of sticking with the same, not kind of, I'm sticking with the same color palette with Soft Succulent. I've got Evening Evergreen, and I've got a little Sahara Sand for the first card. And then I'm using the Perfectly Plaid stamp set. This is from the annual catalog. And then I'm using the Eden Garden stamp set. And then the designer series paper I'm going to use, the Tidings of Christmas. This is in the annual catalog. This will likely, sadly, be the last Christmas card I create for you this year. No promises. You never know what'll happen. I might still pull another one out of here because I still have to make Christmas cards. I haven't done that yet. And then I have got the Eden's Garden designer series paper. I have got some samples I'll share with you in the end. If you haven't seen any of those yet from me, I'll share with you some of the cards I've made with that, because again, this designer series paper is only good through the end of the month or while supplies last. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to make one that I have pre-cut, and then I will cut one for you. Again, measurements, very simple measurements, are up in the headline for you this time around. If you'd like to create as we go, that would be wonderful. And again, any designer series paper, any stamp set that has a sentiment in it, and you, oh, I don't need that quite yet, and you're gonna have success with your stamping with us today. All right, so I have got my Sahara Sand. I did write these out. Now, they're written up there. Of course, you could copy, paste, and, you know, get the measurements for yourself. Or you could take a screenshot here of my lovely Sharpie marker done up. So take a screenshot of that, and you've also got the measurements. I wrote them out for myself so that I could say them as we go. I'm hoping that they're right. I'm pretty sure they are. I made a whole bunch of these cards, so I made 30 setups for our Cafe Crafter team to get out in the mail or to be picked up today. So that was wonderful. All right, so I've got Sahara sand scored it at 4 1/4. It is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Sahara sand is what I have there. Next up, I'm gonna go with this. I've got a soft succulent. I'm gonna leave that to the side just yet. I have got my evening evergreen. Now this is, I'm gonna make sure I say this right, 3 3/4 by 5. And then my designer series paper, I have cut this to 3.5 by 4 3/4. And then when you cut designer series down like this, you end up with little scraps. So let's not let that go to waste. And let's make that as a little border. So I've just got a 1 inch by 3.5 inch. I'm gonna flip it over. See, both sides of the paper, they always coordinate. So if you second guess yourself, well, what matches? You don't have to because it's done for you. So we'll put that right along, a little down from the halfway point. I'm going to, now I really had a stretch. I have been making so much with Evening Evergreen that this is all I have left for ribbon. Like I was pulling out of my scraps for this. And this is an open weave. I'm also going to use the soft succulent on the next card. But here, I saw some angry faces pop up on the Facebook, maybe, and I think it came up right when I said I pulled them out of my scrap bin because I often give away my scrap bin. So now somebody's not gonna get this Evening Evergreen. You know, it's like, sorry guys, I'll put more in there. I'll replace it when I get more back, okay, to my Cafe Crafters. And I bring my junk bin now to my retreats and they get to use it all weekend long. So I will make sure to replace this little piece that I just took out of there. All right, so Evening Evergreen, open weave ribbon. This is in all of our in colors. So we also have it soft succulent, polished pink. Let me think of the other colors. Oh boy, what are the other in colors? I want to say Grapefruit Grove. That's like a way old color, I think. Pale Papaya, that's what it is. Very similar to Grapefruit Grove. Okay, so you see that there? I just put a little adhesive on the back. I'm gonna now place it onto my soft succulent, the next layer, which is 4 by 5 1/4. So super simple Christmas card. So if you're like me and you still have some Christmas cards to make, that is not, yes, that's cut right. Okay, I thought for a second there it was cut wrong. I thought we're gonna really have a rocky day today with the start. So those that were here initially with no sound, thank you for telling me I had no sound. So when the comments popped up, I could take a look at that. But now we are here, we are rocking and rolling. We will have Prize Patrol for today as well. I had a stamp set for last week. So somebody's getting a stamp set for last week. I gotta figure out what this week's gonna be. I bet it'll be something good though. So Prize Patrol, if you like, share, comment, take part in the video. So look at that. That's beautiful just as it is. But now we do need a sentiment. So that, oh, let's put this in there too. So we got that. We could leave it as is, but I do like to tie a little ribbon on there because I just love ribbon. And this is the best way to tie a bow. You see that? So just tape it on the back. We've got a scrap right here. Nice tiny little piece. Pull it out of your scraps and insert it underneath there and tie a knot. We can all tie a knot. That's it. That's all there is to it. And then let's trim it down, preferably with a ribbon scissors. You see me looking around? Of course you can't see me. I wish, you know, I should really maybe think about getting a camera that could go on my, no, we don't want to do that. Getting a camera that could go on my face so you could see what I'm doing. That's not a good idea. That's a terrible idea. It'd be funny for all of you. Maybe not for me though. Okay, so there we are. And now all I have to do is do a little bit of stamping. I'm going to be stamping with Just a Merry Christmas. Oh my goodness, my trimmer almost fell off. Okay, so I'm gonna just use this Merry Christmas sentiment from the Perfectly Plaid. This is one of those where you could definitely, you know, stamp out some Christmas trees, add them in behind if you want to, but I'm keeping it so silly simple that I'm just going to add a sentiment because again, I haven't made out my Christmas cards yet and it is December the 8th. I don't know if I'm gonna get to it. We might have to do Valentine's cards. Okay, so I got this label. Isn't this a really cute label? I just reached into my drawer and I'm not so great about putting my things away all the time, but a lot of my shape dies I tend to just keep in one little area on magnetic sheets. And so this is one of them. This is from the Blossoms in Bloom die. So lots of flowers go with this die. In fact, let me show you. So there's one label die like this in that. This is a card I received quite some time ago from Jan Lutz. And she used all of these other flowers. So that's what's in that die cut set. But there's also this great labels. That's something I always look for when I'm purchasing my die cuts is if they have other things I can use. Because I don't make a lot of cards with flowers. So I want to be able to have something else within there. All right, gently gonna tap tap because I did just re-ink this. So it should be nice and inked up. I have got Evening Evergreen. I'm gonna use that for both of my cards today. And I might just stamp the other one as long as we are right here. Real Gentle is what I did there. Perfect. And then I'm going to use this die cut. This is from the Stitch So Sweetly dies. And the Sending Hugs is from Eden's Garden. And Real Gentle because I just inked that up. I should have had a backup die here ready. Looks like it's perfect. I barely touched the paper on that because, like I said, I just inked it up. Okay, I'm gonna set those aside so I don't get Evening Evergreen. Evening Evergreen is a little bit, if you've ever worked with Blackberry Bliss, I don't know what it is about that Blackberry Bliss. It seems like the second you touch it, it's just instantly on everything. I did cut another one of these just in case, but it looks like I don't need it right now. Now I did cut 2 of these. Love it to get a little extra mileage out of my die cuts. I'm going to snip that in half and it is gonna look like it was a layer. Okay, so it's gonna look like it was made for this. I'm going to put a little adhesive on the edges and adhere. I'm just gonna give it a nice small edge though. Put it pretty tight in there. And same on the other side. And that completes it. And now all I have to do is put it onto my card. Nice thing about this now, if my ribbon is too far to the right, because it's not adhered to anything, all I gotta do is slide it over a little bit. Probably move it with both edges. That's all I have to do to move it. And now all we need is some dimensionals, which I did bring over here. I know I did. Here they are. And we'll put a few on the edges. 4 should do. Let's not layer that on top of each other. And this almost completes our card. I'm going to, because these coordinate so well with, now there's a different name for these. I have to look. Look at those gems. Kind of cut them apart. The name is on here, Garden Gems. So the Garden Gems also work great with the Tidings of Christmas Designer Series paper. So let's go ahead and adhere, or I don't have to adhere them, the adhesive is on them already. And let's put 5 of them on, 3 on top, and 2 on the bottom. And that completes our first card. And now let's walk through step by step for our next card. I'm going to skip 1 layer on the next one. So if you are sticking with us, I appreciate that. I'm seeing you guys saying hello. Now I haven't scrolled down on the comments, but I did see that on my comments. Earlier in the video, I was talking about my Christmas stuff being done. It's like my little Christmas elf. You are right about that. I came home, we were at a hockey tournament over the weekend, my son and I. So the first snow was here. Let's see. There, this is, oh my goodness, my tape is gone. That's why it's not working, because it's gone. Let's grab a new one. We were in St. Cloud for the weekend, and they had snow up there. It's north of here. I think I talked about that last week. And then came home, they didn't have snow down here. Oh, I didn't put enough on there. You know what I gotta do? I gotta get this going. I got a new one here. There we go. Sometimes I gotta just get it started. So we had snow there Saturday night, no snow here, and then yesterday, snow here. So this is like first snow 2 times. First snow at home, and then we got the first snow up there. And we didn't have a snow scraper. We didn't have anything because it wasn't supposed to snow there. It was supposed to be north of there. So we had nothing. Luckily, all the boys had knee hockey sticks, so that worked great to clear off the windows. So if you don't know, my son is big into hockey. My daughter's into dance, and Keeps us pretty busy. All right, so let's go ahead and I like to cut the designer series first. That's what I started with. Isn't this just a really beautiful piece of paper? And let's just cut it up and get going. So I'm going to cut my designer series 3.5. Now you can go from the bottom here. I just went to the bottom here, so I went to my bottom here. I tend to go from the bottom, I don't know why, when I'm using a larger sheet of paper. And then from the top when it gets smaller. I'm not sure why that is. That's just how I guess I operate. So then on the top side here, I'm gonna go 4 3/4. Obviously 5, I know 1 notch down from there is 4 3/4. Let's talk about that. If you struggle with measurements too, when you're reading them and you're wondering how it pans out here, if you are wanting a ruler template and you are not already on my email list, if you are already on my email list, go back, check yesterday's weekly email. I put this template in there for you. If you're not on the list yet and you join today, any day, this gets emailed to you separately as a PDF that you can print out. Again, look at mine. I use this all of the time. There's no shame in not knowing your measurements. I mean, let's just be honest. I was always ashamed of it, and then I realized, wait a minute, I'm not the only one that is not exactly sure, second guesses themselves with 5/16, 3/8, you know, all those weird ones. And you know, you tend to use those when you get into fun folds, 3Ds, things like that. So not as much for these simple stamping cards, but if you end up second guessing yourself, you want to get this printed off, keep it at your desk. You could laminate it, which probably wouldn't be a bad idea for me, but I'll just go back and print another one. Again, it's on the weekly email. I'm going to leave that there. Of course, you go back, look at yesterday's, but I will put it on next week's too. So on every Tuesday, so next week it'll be December 14th, there'll be another email that goes out. I'll leave this template on there yet for a few more weeks so that you can go back and print it. But check that out. It's a good little tool to have. All right, so we have went ahead and we have that ready to go. And let's layer this one up. I'm gonna layer the next layer with Evening Evergreen this time around. So Evening Evergreen, we are going to go, here, I'll do it this side so you can see a little better. Okay, now see, I'm so used to doing the other way. So let's go 3 3/4. And let's flip it the other way and we'll go 5. I'm not gonna put a third layer onto this card. I'm just gonna stick with 2. So this is really silly simple when we just skip out that second layer. You'll see how nice it looks as well. Then I'll bring in those other cards that I created at the end. Let's go ahead and adhere the designer series. And you know what? I didn't confirm that it would look good, but I bet it's gonna look just fine. We're gonna need a 1-inch strip. Let's cut that from here. So obviously we're already at the right size. So we already have 3.5 here. So all we have to do is cut it to 1 inch. So now look at this. You can go 1 inch this way. You have that option. It seems a little trickier to get it in there to cut right. So what we can do is we can pull it this way. So when I have smaller measurements, anything less than 1 inch, I always go from this side. So I'm gonna line it up over on the top here. Because then I can hold it. It gives me a little more room to secure that. And now I have my 1 inch piece. I'm gonna flip that over because I'm gonna use the opposite side for a border. And let's bring in our soft succulent ribbon. Again, if I had a ribbon scissors, which I have, I don't know where it went, that would be ideal, but we'll make do. This is the one I've been cutting a ton of paper with, so it's not extremely sharp. And let's just fold that over. Scotch tape works great. I don't have any sitting here handy, so I'm just going to use my regular Stamp and Seal. But before I adhere this other side, I'm gonna make sure I have it even. I made one yesterday and I didn't because I was rushing. Of course, I'm always rushing. And that looks very nice. And so next layer is going to be, I think I already have this cut. It's going to be my base, my soft succulent base. I better make sure. I don't want to get all the way to it and then have it wrong. It isn't right. So this needs to be 5.5. Good thing I checked. 5.5 by 8.5. Now, if you like to pre-score your cards, you can use your Stampin' Trimmer to do that as well. You can use a scoring board or your Stampin' Trimmer. I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. That gives me a nice even score line. And then let's just fold in half. Fold it towards the valley. So if you ever wonder, there's a little bump on this side, you want to fold it in towards the indent. That is the best way to do it. The other way is not wrong. It's still going to fold your card in half. But if you don't like to have little, you know, blemishes, or I'm not sure what you call it, but on the side, or cracks, that's the way you want to go if you're wondering why you're getting those. Okay, let's add some more Stampin' Seal. And place this on the base, see? So you could add another layer, but it looks just as nice without. So we already have this one ready, and we're gonna put dimensionals on that in a minute after I add another sliver of ribbon. I did not have to dig in my junk bin for the ribbon here. Let's tuck that underneath and tie a knot. So again, thank you all so much for watching. There will be another video next week. So it looks like before Christmas, there'll be 2 more. See, that is not working ideal. I'm gonna just end it here. I will snip off that little frayed end as soon as I get my ribbon scissors back out. Of course, it's gonna pop in as soon as I'm done with the video. So it looks like we'll have 2 more videos before Christmas. Next week, the 15th, and then the 22nd as far as live videos go. I will be sure to share that video where I made the other 4 cards using the brand new Designer Series papers and stamps. It is over on YouTube right now, but it'll be shared over on the Facebook at some point in the near future. And here we go. So pretty. I am loving this nice, simple, successful layout. Let's bring in our gems one more time. Again, Designer Series paper and these gems only available through the end of the month. Today, if you're watching live, great day to get them because it's free shipping today on orders over $50. Oh, and guess what I have? Like, I had no idea Stampin' Up! Was going to offer all these specials this month. So at the beginning of the month, I said, let's get some free Designer Series paper away. So I'm giving anyone that orders over $50 a free package of 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. Now, some of it is retired. It'll just be a random, you know what, it's not a sampling, it's a full unopened package of Designer Series and double punches. So I have a punch card program that after you purchase, or after 10 punches, so you get 1 punch per $50. After 10 punches, you get a free stamp set from me. So all December long, double punches. So not only free shipping today, double punches, free Designer Series paper. So it's a great day to be a Stampin' Scrap Tammy customer. Okay, let me bring in, so if you're still thinking about, now this wood grain is from something else, so don't fall in love with that just yet. It's not available for customers just yet, but beautiful cards using the Eden's Garden. I've done lives on all of these, I believe. Maybe not this one. This one looks like a new simple stamping card that we'll work on next. But all of these have been made in a live video, I believe, in the last month or so. But just showing off that beautiful paper, the stamp set, the die cuts. There is some vellum within that set. I believe, where did I use that on? Oh, right here, the card that I'm holding. So it's just a beautiful set of Designer Series paper, very elegant. And let's bring in those other cards I shared at the beginning. You might have popped in late. Let's see if we can find them though. That is the trick. Where did they all go? Here's 2. Those are the same. I believe they're probably under my paper trimmer. I don't even know if I should bother finding them at this point. Here they are. There should be one more. Let's see. I think I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't think I need to make everything fall over during the video. We already didn't have sound. We already had some issues. So let's just go with this. Look at these. This here, I'll show this a little bit closer. I didn't give this back to her. This isn't my card. This is Gail's card. So Gail usually watches. Gail, I'll give you your card back. So this was our card sample. This is a free paper during celebration coming up. So coming up in January, if you're a demonstrator right now, you can get this free with a $50 order. But starting in January, everybody can get it. But this is like one side of the paper. This is the flip side. Isn't that pretty? So this was my sample and Gail made it like this. And so then I asked her if I could take a photo of it, and looks like I stole it from her, but I'll give it back. So is it stealing if I'm giving it back? I'm not sure. Let me know. But I will give this back to Gail. So that's a beautiful card. This is some new Valentine's paper. Again, I don't know the names of these just yet. I've only worked with them a few days. Some beautiful Valentine's Day cards. And let me share with you. Now, this is not a completed card. It doesn't have the sentiment on it, but I used this card for a card swap that I sent out last week and put a sentiment on it. But I found it on the floor when I was cleaning yesterday. Like, I was packaging up the cards and all of a sudden I was short one, and I thought, where did it go? So I just made up a whole nother card. And then when I was cleaning up yesterday, I found this and it's like, oh, that's where that card went that I was missing. But now I just have to add the sentiment on and it'll be perfect. And then this one, the Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series. This is also a celebration, free with a purchase in January. And there's a stamp set that has rainbows, and oh my goodness, if you haven't seen it yet, it is amazing. So I hope that you are on my email list. There'll be some options to get a free catalog sent to you. You can even send me a message right now if you're not on my list and you're thinking, gosh, I'd kind of like, if you don't have a demonstrator already and you're thinking that I might be a good fit for you, you can send me a message and I'll be sure as soon as I get them in that I get one sent to you. If you're already a customer of mine, I picked you in my mailing selector. They should be on the way shortly. Here's today's cards. I am loving this. There we go. There's my Christmas card, everybody. Well, I don't know. I don't know how much of that paper I have, but I could even put Christmas on that. That would work. Okay, I'm rambling on right now. I've got other stuff to do today. I bet you have other stuff to do today, but I really had a nice time creating with you all today. And I'll see you back here, if not before, next Wednesday, 11 a.m. Central, December 15th. See you then. Have a great day, everybody.